Jai Gajanan, Ganeshaya Namastubhyam, Herambay Ekadantini, Swanandavasini Tubhyam, Brahmanaspataye Namaha. In the earlier session, we were looking at how in the initial stages of creation there are kalpas. There is a huge kalpa that's called a Mahakalpa, and the first of such Mahakalpa was Vinayaka Mahakalpa, which was followed by Bhuvaneshi Kalpa. Then it was followed by Aditya Kalpa, Aditya Mahakalpa, then Vishnu Kalpa, and then Shambhu Kalpa. So after this, in each of these kalpas, there are different Ishwaras who were predominant. And each of these Mahakalpas, there is a fresh Brahma. Brahma that is created from the Nabi of Brahmanaspati. And there is also a separate Vishnu, Rudra. So all these aspects of creation, the functionaries or the administrative units of the Supreme were created in each of this, and we saw how they were created from the left. Initially it was from the vision, then from the left side, right side, and so on. So after this now, Sanaka is asking Shiva, it is accepted that Vinayaka as Ganesha is the Pancham Brahma, addressed as Gajanana in Vedas and Upanishads. Why and for what purpose did the Lord assume this form? That is, this form of Parameshwara, where there is a head of an elephant and that of a human body. Please tell us, O Parameshwara, the all-knowing one. Shiva replies, it is well known that Gajanana is the form of the Lord of Swananda. He lives in, his abode is Swananda Loka. The Tapini Shrutis say that Gunesha too has the form of an elephant. Gunesha is the Turya aspect of the four Ishwaras, that is Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and Shakti. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and Shakti, and the Turya aspect of all of them is Gunesha. The vast expanse of the threefold form of this world has a human body. That is the part of the Supreme with the attributes, which has a name and form that is represented by a human body, and it is for the purpose of differentiation between the two. He is known as Pancham Gajanana. His first work as Gunesha was sporting the head of an elephant. Hence, Pancham is also known as Gajamukha. Gaja means elephant's head, and which is born with a Gaja. Mukha is face. Gananayaka took the form with the head of an elephant out of his own free will for demonstrating his true form to the world so that it can be interpreted in the right way. The body of Gajanana is symbolic of the Mahavakya of Ganeshwara. Namely, as you get closer, you find that he alone is and nothing else is visible. So then Sanaka continues. Sanaka asks Shiva, O husband of Parvati, tell me about Vignesha, your son. Tell me about him as Varenya's son and also as Kashyapa's son. Tell me about Ganesha's Parabrahma Swarupa. What was his supreme form? Tell me about his birth and his philosophy to remove all my doubts in this regard. Shiva says, Swananda Brahma is renowned for being an embodiment of the bliss of knowledge. That is, a sense of knowing itself is the blissful form of Swananda Brahma. His form has the dual quality of Saguna and Nirguna. His birth with attributes was basically for the purpose of connecting to the primordial causal matter, which is Saguna in nature, for protection of his devotees and for admonishing the evildoers. So he took a physical aspect. He appeared in an incarnation in order to connect this physical, the gross aspect with that primordial causal aspect, so that that bridge can be built, so it will assist in promoting goodness or righteousness and destroying evil. He enters the idol out of his own wish. He's Swayambhu. So he enters an idol out of his own wish and with his own powers of Maya. He incarnates in the universe as a manifestation of the earth. Gajanana incarnated for establishing his name in this world. He was born to Shakti and Shiva. Kashyapa also in the family of Kashyapa and Aditi, and me, that is Shiva himself, and others in the worldly plane. He has also been born in Nagaloka also, and Vishnu also. So in various he has incarnated in several planes. He incarnated as my son, that's Shiva saying, in response to great penance by Devas for establishing Dharma. His arrival brought great joy and glory. Gajanana has incarnated several times, of which the main ones are about 108. Generally, he incarnates for a specific purpose, on completion of which he will disappear. No doubt, they are for the emancipation of the people. Whenever there is some great difficulty, and the rishis, munis, the people in general pray to the Supreme, he manifests, does the job, and disappears. So that is why Ganesha has incarnated several times. In fact, he has incarnated several times in Shiva's house himself. In Shiva's house at Kailash itself, he has incarnated several times. Ganesh Puja in Kailash and other lokas. How is Ganesha worshipped in these lokas? This was the next question which Sanaka asked. Sanaka asked, how is Heramba? Heramba is another name of Ganesha, the Supreme. How is he? That is, he is an embodiment of knowledge. Amba's son, He Ramba, that is carrying the energy of knowledge of Amba, worshipped in Shiva Loka. How is Heramba worshipped in Shiva Loka and Vaikunta? Please also tell me how is worshipped in Brahma's palace in Swarga Loka or Satya Loka, as well as Surya Mandala, Shakti Loka. How did the Vedic people worship him? Oh Shankara, please tell me how you worship the Lord. He is in a state beyond this world. Then how is his worship done? Relaxing in his palace at Swananda. Shiva replies, Ganesha Brahmanaspati, husband of Siddhi Buddhi, is established fully in himself as Swaswananda. That means he is self knowing. He is absolute self knowing, and he is in the form of light. He is seated in his palace at Swananda Loka with his Shaktis close by. The face of the Brahma, most loved by his Ganas, everyone is in his own form. There, people are all in the form of light in a state of unparalleled bliss. He is in the same state and form in Kailash as well as in all the other lokas as well. The garland for puja is specially prepared for him, and puja is to be performed to the Ganesh idol installed there following all the prescribed procedures. He is a bestower of blessings. I do puja, japa, and meditation with devotion in that order. Listen carefully to what I'm going to say. He's telling Sanaka and others who are seated in front of him. In Shiva Loka, Shiva worships his unmanifest form with the Ekakshara mantra, Gam. In the palace at Kailash, Sadashiva is engrossed in worship of Heramba. In Kailash, located in Jambu Dweep, Parvati's husband Mahesh is known to worship Chintamani Ganesh through contemplation. In Mani Dweep of Swargaloka, Parambika worships Vallabhesh. Each of these incarnations of Ganesha have different names when they incarnate in different lokas to different Ishwaras. So in Swarga Loka or Sarva Loka, Parambika worships as Vallabhesh. Durga in Shakti Loka worships Durga Ganapati. And Kaali worships Chandi Ganeshwara. In Skanda Loka, Mahasena Karthikeya worships the Lord of Laksha. Laksha was Ganesha's son. He worships the Lord of Laksha as Gananayaka. In Rudra Loka, Bhairava worships Shulatangka Ganesha. Veerabhadra worships Sahasrasya Ganesha in his abode, while Shasta worships Hariharatmaja Ganesha on his path to the Lord. Ganesha acquired Gaja's head as Shambhu's son. When he was born as Shambhu's son, Shambhu himself cut off his head with his trishul, angered at not being permitted inside the house. And so this head was replaced by the head of Gaja, Gajasura's head, which was elephant's head. And this Ganesha was worshipped by Nandi. This Ganesha with the Gajamukha became the head of all Ganas, that is Ganapati. So he was worshipped by Nandi, Ganas, as well as Shakta Hayagriva, the horse-faced incarnation of Vishnu. In Vaikuntha Loka, Lakshmi Narayana Hari worships Agnya Ganesha. Shri Vasudeva Krishna worships Ganeshwara in Goloka. In Shweta Dweepa, Mahavishnu worships Shweta Vinayaka. Radha worships Gavya Ganesha and Lakshmi worships Lakshmi Ganeshwara. In Vishnu Loka, Tulasi worships Durga Ganesh, Dharani worships Bhu Vinayaka, and Uchishta Ganapati born from Gauri's love. In Brahmaloka, Brahma worships Satya Vinayaka, who destroys all obstacles and makes all wishes come true as husband of Siddhi. Sharada worships Ganapa. Vani Gayatri worships him with sandalwood. Savitri worships Haridra Ganapati, that is turmeric. Mantra worships Mantra Ganadipa. All those who desire to go to Brahma Loka worship Varada Gananayaka. Surya worships Omkara Ganapa at the center of Ravi Mandala. Sandhya, Surya's wife, worships Shakti Ganesha. Gayatri worships Bala Vignapa. Savitri worships him as a young god, while Saraswati worships him as an aged god. Brahma Surya worships Muhurtam. Shiva Surya worships Vikata. Surya Narayana worships Vakratunda. And Saura's deity is Vignapa. In Tapoloka of the Rishis, yogis like Sanaka and others liberated from mental distractions and Brahma's son Marichi as their chief, they worship Jnana Vignapa. In the Janaloka, ancestors whose rites are performed worship the auspicious one. Ekadanta is worshipped by the Munis in Maharloka, who lives through the Kalpa. To the entire Kalpa, the Munis live in the Maharloka. In the Suvarloka, all devas living together, they worship him as Sumukha. In the Mahameru, the Ashtadikpal, that is the directions, worship him as Digishwara. Devaraj Indra worships Ratnagarbha Ganesha in his abode. Agni, Vanni Ganas worship the luminous Ganesha. For regulating time, Kala, measure and distance, Ganapa with attributes is worshipped. Those in charge of defense, they worship Pashapani Ganadipa. as against danger because he carries the noose in his hand. So that is why the defense, those who are in the defense worship Pashapani Ganadipa. For coolness, fragrance, and stimulating movement and activity, we worship Dhumravarna. In Alkapuri, the Yaksha king, which is the abode of Kubera, he is worshipped by the Yaksha king as the guardian of treasury. Rudra, the lord of Kailash, worships Gananayaka as powerful, while Surya, the lord of planets, worships Shvetarka Vignapa in the Boar Loka. Soma, moon, worships for ploughing and cultivation. Mars worships for removing difficulties. Mercury worships for innovation. And Jupiter for progeny. He is held like Dhruva at the center of worship as one who grants fearlessness to the lonely, brightness to the dull, swiftness, beauty like Chaya or fulfillment of all wishes. The Saptarishis feel mentally intoxicated by worshipping Manikarnika Ganeshwara, doing his Abhisheka with red sindoor. In Patal Loka, Kalagni Rudra worships Veera Ganeshwara, while Kushmanda Rudra worships the Kushmanda Ganesha in Mahatal Loka. There are seven lokas above the earth and seven patal lokas, the lower lokas. So there also he is being worshipped. Mahadeva with matted hair worships Pingalabha in the Talatal Loka, while in Rasatal Loka, the king of snakes worships the Veeraganadipa. In Sutala Loka, Yogi Kapila contemplates on him as Kapila, while in Vitala Loka he is Durmukha. And for Daityas of Hayatala, he is Diggaja. The four-toothed Ganesha was the ceremonial lord during Ganesha Kalpa. And birthless and deathless Pramod and Amod are his two sons, were Karma Devata. People in this Loka worshipped Ganeshwara in the form of light, in happiness, and in darkness he was worshipped like roving eyes called Gurnitaksha Ganeshwara. At Pushkar, ghosts, departed spirits, and demons and King Yavan worship Gajakarna, while Munis worship Chaturvaktra Ganeshwara. Kings worship with cow ghee Gajadanta Ganeshwara. Siddhi's husband as a form of Siddha at Krauncha mountain, he is worshipped as Sthula Dantak. Astrologers worship the light of Shadmukha Gananayaka. Dyuti worships Kukshi Ganesha in Shalmali Dweepa. Garuda worships a three-faced Ganeshwara while digging his teeth into the Kusha grass, while the handsome Guha worshipped the five-faced Ganeshwara. A Sakha king worshipped Lambodara Vinayaka with cow sacrifice from which a two-faced Daitya Rakshas emerged along with the Ganas. In the Karma Bhumi of Jambu Dweep, that is on earth, in the middle of which is the Meru mountain, also known as Kanakachal, he was the favorite of Lavana. The equator divides the earth into two parts, the northern and southern hemisphere. The portion to the north of the Meru mountain was ruled by King Kuru of the Kuru dynasty. All men residing there, along with Ganas of Maruti, that is the wind god Hanuman, worship Jyeshtha Ganesha. In the golden land of Bharata, The king worships Gananayaka. Vidyadhar worships him as Dantahasta, one tooth in hand, enjoying the delicacy modak. The Gandharvas dance before the idol of Ganesha installed in their abode. To the south of Meru mountain, Shiva with the matted hair worships Gananayaka. In Ilavrta, that is one of the 9 divisions in the central part of the old continent, Narapati, who was a Yaksha, worshipped Yaksha Ganadipa. During Harivarsha, that is during Hari's rule, it was possible to assume a body of Simhavaktra, the king of Kimpurushas, that is mongrels, that is half man and half animal, who lived on earth, and they worshipped Mahaganapati. They became friends with Devagana of West Ketumalake. Kalanala appeased the king of men by bringing Chitraganta, a celestial singer to worship Ganesha installed there, that is at Ketumalake. To the east in Bhadrashva, the best of kings, Dhumraketu worshipped Vyoma Vigneshwara, installed by the Kinnaras. In Bharat, the idol installed in is Dundiraj Ganeshwara at Mayuresh in Morgaon in Maharashtra, worshipped by 108,000 Munishwaras. Ballal Ganapa is worshipped by Vaishyas. Shudras worship Mandara Ganapa. Kaali, who does not follow any Varnashrama, Kali, who does not follow any Varnashrama Dharma, worships Priya Vinayaka. In some parts of Bharat, where unmarried girls are considered incomplete, they do japa and archana with devotion. There are over 108 idols of Brahmanaspati installed and worshipped in various places with devotion. Unmarried virgin girls are believed venerable after death. So also are unmarried girls like Saraswati, on whom Brahma had turned his back. Here on earth, she is remembered as Yogamaya, a bestower of Jnana Yoga, beginning in Panchal region of Kurus, which was the abode of rishis earlier. In that land of intellectuals, she is a bestower of wisdom and intelligence on sages of the region. In the eastern and central region between Himalayas and Vindhyas, in the ancient times, she is a bestower of wisdom. This blessed country called Aryavarta was considered as a yoga bhumi, meant for upasana, that is worship. The region between Vindhya mountains and river Krishna is addressed as Madhya Desh and is said to be inhabited by Yogamayi Shakti that bestows devotion for gods on earth. To the south of river Krishna in the Deccan Plateau, which is considered as Karma Bhumi, where Yogamayi Shakti blesses with Karma Yoga. So when this question of Karma Yoga comes in, Sanaka asks, O Parameshwara, please tell us about Karma. What is Karma and what is its nature? Shiva said, action performed with intellect, mind and organs of action produces results. Action of the body or speech are all karma. Karmas are divided into two, that which is prohibited and those which are prescribed as per the Vedas. When Munishwaras first questioned what was karma, that is, they questioned in meditation. In their meditation and contemplation, they just asked, what is karma? So they got the reply, that which is prohibited becomes karma, known as duty. Earlier Munis had prescribed karmas as per their smritis, that is memory, and that is what they could remember. And they said those karmas are nitya karmas, nimitta karmas, and vishesha karmas. So they are daily karmas, incidental karmas, and desire driven karmas, vishesha karmas. The prescribed daily karmas are divided in according to the varnashrama. Varnas are of two types. One where the sandhya, japa, homa are necessarily to be done, and they are recited by heart from memory, through remembrance and recitation. And giving up of these daily karmas was not allowed, and if you give up, then you are considered a Shudra in nature. And therefore, they were left out from chanting of Deva mantras and worship of Deva. So initially, it began, this Varnashrama Dharma began as a relinquishing of one's own duties. When you relinquish one's own duties, you are segregated from the congregation. So that is how the Shudras were left out from chanting of the Veda or Deva mantras. Vedas were considered Deva mantras, and so they were prevented from chanting the Vedas and worship of Devas. The yogis believed in contemplation of divine principles as their daily karma. Those who give up their daily karmas become defiled mentally in course of time. One gains merits by doing duties, and their desires are obtained incidentally. So the desires are a side product or side effect, we can say. So that is, it comes along with it. So it's well known that actions done with the desire for fruits becomes desired actions. Appeasement for actions done in the past get transformed into prarabdha karma. So, prarabdha karma or destiny ordained karmas in due course. So, these destiny ordained karmas are prarabdha karmas, that is, when because of a backlog of the negative effects of karmas done in our previous lives, that we are put in certain circumstances, certain family or environment where we are forced to do certain karmas. So those karmas has to necessarily be done. You can't avoid it. So those are called prarabdha karmas. Like for example, you may be put into areas where there is scarcity of water. So if you have to go some 5 miles or 2 miles to draw water from a well and bring it, so it's a prarabdha karma. So in some other place, if you have a lot of punya accumulated in the past, you may be having facility of having a tap at home. So you get water at home. So the prarabdha karma is a destiny oriented karma. It is the residue of the past karmas. They are believed to be of 3 types. Among them, sanchit karmas are accumulated karmas. Accumulated karmas come to us with birth and are to be necessarily done. The experience derived from them is called prarabdha or destined karmas. That work, that this prarabdha karmas are, if you do it with a sense of detachment and without a desire for the fruits of action, they actually contribute to our progress. So Sanaka asks Shiva, then these yogis who are desiring liberation, they praise the daily karmas. So, O Shankara, please tell us what is the nature of this daily karmas that we have to do, because yogis are forever involved in doing their daily karmas. Shiva said, doing sandhya thrice daily is called sandhya karma. That is, if you have gone through the thread ceremony, it's a kind of initiation, then you are given certain mantras to be chanted in the morning, afternoon, and in the evening. So these are sandhyas, sandhya vandana. These have to be done thrice a daily. It is called sandhya karma. It is to be done with undivided attention as prescribed in the Vedas. The bhava, the feeling during contemplation on Mahavakyas is important for its siddhi or attainment. And this Mahavakya in Sandhya unites the Jivatma with Paramatma. So this is the important contemplation on the Mahavakya is the daily karma of yogis. Importance of Mahavakyas, that is observing or contemplation on the Mahavakyas in Sandhya is well known. The grace of the Supreme lies in observing and contemplation on Mahavakya. The fivefold tendencies of the mind, fivefold tendencies, the vagaries, the habitual inclinations of the mind rides on the subtle body and influences the intellect. Just as the wood of a shami tree has an inherent prosperity to catch fire, or the passenger seated next to the driver is often hidden from sight, so also the omnipresent Brahma is unmanifest in contemplation. Just as the wisdom in the Mahavakyas dawns during contemplation in the intellect, when a yogi is involved in contemplation on the Mahavakya, say like Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi. So when he is contemplating on the inherent meaning of this Mahavakya, that there is a dawn of wisdom in his intellect. So also goddess Buddhi is hidden in the cave of our hearts and she becomes visible there. Yogis and the best of Munis consider it their duty to contemplate on the Mahavakyas while stationed in the lotus of a restrained mental plane. It is believed that a restrained mind, a mind that is not allowed to move or to travel into its tendencies, habitual paths of thinking, and which is restrained, makes the intellect attributeless, without attributes. Such a single pointed mind is not endowed with attributes. So, this threefold universe is addressed as Tvam-pada, that all that is manifest around us, which has names and forms, is the Tvam-pada aspect. The Tvam-pada, pada is a state or is the beingness. So Tvam-pada, it is known as Tvam, and the unmanifest or the consciousness aspect of the Supreme is the Tat-pada, Tat state, and the bindu or the union which of these two that ties these two together is the asipada, the beingness as per the smritis. Tvam-pada Brahma is with attributes and we can inquire into it. We can inquire why is it so, what is its color, what is its nature, we can ask questions. The nature of Tat Tvam Pada is of four types according to the intellectual. So this union of Tat and Tvam are four types. The universe that emerged from the Supreme Brahma is of four types. So this union of Tat and Tvam is of four types. So manifesting as Omkar, when Gayatri the Gayatri emerged from that Omkar, she expressed herself as this word, that is sound form. So chanting the Gayatri mantra with a concentrated mind resulted in the manifestation of the Tvam-pada Brahma, constituting the four divisions encapsulated in the collective mind. That is at the macrocosmic level. The entire thing was encapsulated as a collective mind consciousness matter, the Tvam-pada Brahma. The Supreme Brahma's form of absolute Omkar is located at the Mooladhar of the Virata Purusha. Virata Purusha is the cosmic person. Just as we as individual, we have a form, so also the Purusha of the cosmos has a form which is known as Virat. And just as we have 7 chakras or 7 energy centers in the human body, so also the Virata Purusha has 7 energy centers in the human body, in the body of the Virat, and at the Mooladhara is Omkar, forming support of the cosmic space and that is of the cosmic space in the heart of Ravi Mandala. So, in this whole cosmic space of the Surya Mandala, that is Ravi Mandala, that is solar system, at the Mooladhar, the Virat Purusha expands across this entire solar mandala. So, at the Mooladhar is the Omkar. At the Agya of the Brahma's universal body is Chandra Mandala. It is made up of the fourfold Jagat Brahma in the heart of Ravi Mandala. Chandra Mandala, the moon system, embodies the fourfold knowledge of Nirguna Brahma. The unmanifest Brahma is contained in the Chandra Mandala, and it is conceived out of the imagination of the Padmaja, of lotus born Brahma or Brahmadeva. Contemplation on the Mahavakyas with focused attention and a restrained mind at Muladhar will create the field necessary for his manifestation in the heart. So, focused attention and a restrained mind, that is at the Agya Chakra, and then you focus the mind on the Muladhar, it will create the field, the entire field which will get manifested in the heart. When the light hidden at the base, that is at the Muladhar, moves to the heart and manifests there through regular chanting of Omkar or Gayatri Japa, it expands. So the supporting gods do unfold from the fourfold universe through the powers gained by chanting the Vedic mantras. Chanting and contemplation on the Mahavakyas leads to awakening of the forms of the six supporting gods in the heart. Chanting their mantras while meditating on their forms gives the necessary impetus in the heart. It gives that spurti, that impetus in the heart, which actually that spring in the heart, which gets an impetus when we while chanting with the union of sound of the mantras and while meditating on the form, it gives an impetus in the heart to spring forth and become a pole star, that is a light that will guide you towards your goal. So the mind, which is devoid of changing tendencies, that is, which is not vagary, constantly flitting from one thing to another, but which is focused, which is steady, which is single pointed, and without any distractions, can assume the form and state of Brahma, state of that supreme in supraconscious meditative union, that is in samadhi, in asamprajnat samadhi. The unmanifest form can also be visualized by the yogis. So this becomes possible only when the mind is restrained and not otherwise. Both the Saguna Brahma and Nirguna Brahma are the goals of superconscious meditative union. That is, there are two forms of meditative union, or samadhi, which is known as Samprajnat Samadhi and Asamprajnat Samadhi. Samprajnat Samadhi is that which is contemplating on the visible, or which has names and forms. So and when you reach a state of samadhi or meditative union with the Ishvara of that state, it is called superconscious samadhi or samprajnat samadhi, superconscious meditative union. And when we contemplate on the unmanifest aspect of that same Ishvara, it is known as asamprajnat samadhi or supraconscious meditative union. And this fourfold forms of the universe, which with attributes is called Saguna. And it is from here that the knowledge of Nirguna can be known. Only from the form we can know the formless. It is known that Bindu first appeared in the supraconscious Samadhi state, Asamprajnat Samadhi. Thereafter, the world emerged from there in superconscious meditative union in the process of this. So, initially, when the Supreme manifests in the world, it is a descent. So, from the unmanifest, you get the manifest, which the Supreme knows from asamprajnat samadhi to samprajnat samadhi. And but when we as human beings progress, evolve upwards, it is ascent. So Shiva explains to Sanaka and others, the debate was that Bindu gathered the whole psychic body into itself from Mooladhara, which is a characteristic of Siddhi attained in meditation. So it is only after attaining the Siddhi of this Nirguna, the unmanifest, that it was possible, this union was possible, not otherwise. It is then accomplished in meditation through union of individual soul with that of the universe. Supreme Brahma of Swananda Loka Brahma, sees through the eyes of wisdom. It is therefore necessary to first attain the eye of wisdom, which is also known as Jnana Chakshu. Kundalini Yogini Shakti is made up of eightfold causal matter encapsulated in the Mooladhara and supported at 6 stages. Actually, she is encapsulated inside the triangular bone at the Mooladhara. Mooladhara chakra is below, Mooladhara is above in the triangular bone, and there she is, the eightfold causal matter is encapsulated there, and she lies as a serpent in 3.5 coils, and she is supported at 6 stages. Hidden in the hind part of the tailbone, she is kindled into awakening to rise, open the door, and move stealthily upwards towards Brahmarandra. That is the door or opening that connects to Brahma. The light of Brahma is no doubt visible in the heart. But the all-encompassing world, both within and outside, is seen as an offering in the sacrificial fire. The external fire expands to move upwards when offerings are made into Yajna Kunda. When we do offerings in the Yajna Kunda, that fire of offerings goes upwards. This is seen daily during homas. Homa Yajna, which are performed, that is a Homa Karma. That's a daily Yajna Karma. So also energy located, so also yogis, when they do meditation, contemplating on the fire within, that is below the tailbone, and they make it to rise through the energy centers and through japa, sadhana, contemplation, samadhi. That is also his way of doing the karmas. So this was in answer to Sanaka's question, which Shiva gives in the form how he distinguishes karma for an ordinary human being with the varnashrama dharma, and the yogis who do not have any varnashrama dharma, how do they perform the same daily karmas. We shall see further about the conversation in the next session. Jai Gajan.